The brain. Second part. In a different way, the brain is divided into two hemispheres. Left hemisphere. The left hemisphere is responsible for providing appropriate solutions to the questions and problems encountered. Make decisions for actions. When humans have problems to solve, the brain receives commands from analytical or other regions. From the learned things stored in the analysis area to understand the problem and the task to be solved. Information related to that problem, such as the method, the principles or images, will be selected. All transfer to the associative area to link those images and information, and logic to have answers. In the decision-making area where reliability is compared, choose to make appropriate decisions. Then move to the motor areas to control the external organs, to solve the problems. When we calculate, the brain works. Development is that we practice increasing the speed of learning, understanding the problem, remembering faster methods, related data, or being more assertive to make decisions quickly, etc. Ways of developing the left brain are to study well the subject of logic, calculation, memorization, planning, rules for themselves, communication, the right movements or logical games, etc. In life, when we work, daily responses require a lot of work from the left hemisphere. People with left brain development often make decisions quickly, but are often stereotypical and less creative. They like to work according to a plan. These are very smart and nimble people. They do very well. When learning, words, symbols, numbers, etc. are the means to remember. They memorize all the information, data, problems, formulas, etc. When facing difficulties, they can solve problems quickly. People who use the left brain a lot will be good at logic subjects like math, physics, chemistry, and memorization subjects like history, geography, etc. Right hemisphere. The brain area is responsible for the imaginations or feelings, judging the world. Make an emotional decision. Facing an object or incident, after receiving information from the analytical and other regions. In the analysis area, combined filtering out the sensory information, emotions, thoughts in similar cases, experiences, learned, watched videos, etc. The information begins to be linked to each other to create thoughts and perceptions of that problem. In the decision area is a comparison with similar cases that happen to give out assessments and emotions. The motor areas expresses actions, expressions, and attitudes outward. Learning art subjects, listening to different types of sounds and language, abstract subjects and games, or left movement, etc. All are beneficial for the development of the right hemisphere. When we imagine, it is time for the right hemisphere work. This mostly perform in the associative area, where the brain draws its own worlds. These people often live inwardly. They have a rich soul, judging things in many ways, can be sympathetic, understood with the people, etc. These are people who often have big dreams or wonderful things, having a long and wide vision. The daydreaming will lead them to life's goals and bigger. Always learning how to goal will help them come closer to success. People who use the right brain a lot often work depending on emotion. But focusing on emotions, it is difficult to make decisions and people act slowly. But this helps them careful and sure, often thinking of new ways to do. As creative people, but whether this creation is on the right way or not depends on each person. Goals and dreams, the ability to understand and sympathize with others, foresight, creativity, etc. It can be said that these people have the abilities to become talented leaders. When studying, they often use images, diagrams, etc. to review knowledge. These activities help store longer, and create new ways. Because of a lot of thinking, there are many conflicts leading to questions and always asking why. So there are mixed opinions. People who use the right brain must often study well art subjects like music, arts, literature etc. or subjects like psychology, etc. Using left brain undertakes to solve the logical problems, make decision for human actions. The right brain deals with issues which are related to abstraction, comparative appreciation, emotion and feeling, expressing gestures, attitudes. Need to understand the tasks of the areas to know how to promote them. Each thing that we do, learn, act every day has an impact on the brain. So you need to know the positive effects, training more for the brain's ability. Tasks that your brain has done will be saved in the area it has processed. When facing with a similar situation, the brain will respond immediately without going through the processes. The brain works the most when you are a child. Since a child begins to learn how to crawl, to walk, to talk, and to observe to learn about all things around, all are connecting nerve cell process. The daily chores, the actions now are mostly repetitions. We need innovations, doing many things we've never done before. We can connect new cell areas. If these links are not frequently used, the repetition may be broken. Each person will have a dominant cerebral hemisphere or uniformly developed one. The dominant cerebral hemisphere is the one that this person develops easily and prefers to use more. It likes you are easy with your left or right hand. The initial dominant hemisphere is caused primarily due to genetic factors and the mother's motives during pregnancy, or it will be decided by the movements of the baby at birth. It will be easier if we maximize the power of the dominant brain area. The person who develops the power of the brain is the person who has many neurons that are linked together. Each hemisphere has different strengths. Those who exert strength in both hemispheres, more evenly used, are more likely to succeed. Emotions, excitement can give you tremendous power. But you need to be rational and assertive in many cases, or you will be driven by emotions, losing yourself. You are intelligent, agile, very assertive work, but you need the emotions to not become too dry and have creativity at work. For example, when you solve a difficult math task, at this time the brain will receive commands from the senses, from what it has learned to understand the problem. The brain take relevant data about the method, the same problems. Then you will go to the associative area of the left hemisphere to connect information to get directions. Go through the left decision area to evaluate, and then the motor zone to write the solution, show it outside. Complicated problem, we can solve step by step to get the final answer. But if this is a new problem, you've never encountered the same type, this is time the right brain region works. Memory, taking all related pictures and thoughts, similarly, to the associative region, creating new methods. From there, choose the appropriate plan to implement. When facing difficulties, it is time to use the right brain area. Because if we do not analyze, think, imagine to find new ways, we will fall into the situation of repeating thinking, unable to find solutions, fail many times in one method. Then you want to get a plan for yourself or project to develop. First you need a goal, then imagine the paths you have to go. These tasks will be done in the right brain. You need to present your plans to the outside and choose the best roads to go. These will be the jobs of the left hemisphere. Goodbye, see you sequel.